Hey guys, it's John here, and hey, I just noticed when I did this live stream that I don't know, it had some crap in there about my location. It gave the location of this place that business that I'm right by. Anyway, well, I guess maybe I'll just see if I can change that later, but I don't think at this point there's too many people out trying to kill me or whatever. So anyway, I don't officially have any trolls yet. I haven't had enough views yet to have a negative comment really. So all right, so here we go, getting ready to go on my van life. I'm starting a van life trip now. See, like that clickbait, it made you think I was actually going to start van life. I'm actually on a van life trip, but I think it's going to probably, it might be a few weeks, it may be up to a month possibly, depending on how I'm feeling. So I'm leaving right now here in the great state of Minnesota, where, you know, I don't really mind the cold so much. I kind of almost in some ways kind of like the cold. It's kind of beautiful, but you know, but when it's like, you know, almost April and there's still snow on the ground, that's when it's like, okay, screw this, you know. And it's like I gotta like, it's like this is where I gotta park my vehicle, like, and it's I gotta like every time climb on this big like mountain of ice every time I want to get in my vehicle, so it's like I won't miss that. So hopefully by the time I get back there won't be any snow. But I see actually it's been cold a lot of parts of the country right now, so that's kind of weird. But yeah, a lot of areas that don't get, you know. But anyway, so where I'm going is there's the van, and I'll show you Charlie. So I'm just gonna kind of do this live stream, and if nobody actually chimes in, that's fine. Then it'll just be my leaving video. And going in the van here with Charlie Poo. Let's see, is he in this blanket up here? No, actually he went up here. Got his food there. I don't know if that's gonna spill. I think I put a little bit in there. I'll see maybe if I drive careful if it doesn't spill too much, but that water. But here's Charlie Poo back here. Hey buddy Poo. You know, like, okay, so I got it here. I got this wall here thing, and then but I do have it. I need to get it a little bit higher there, but at least I got it to where he can come between the front and the back. And I think once I can turn on the heat in the back once I get going, and it's kind of cold right now, but he's got lots of blankets he can lay on and stuff, and there's his toy there and stuff. He's gonna feel nice and secure. Hope he's not having flashbacks of like whenever his previous owner, hey buddy Poo, whenever his previous owner I guess packed up the stuff and brought him to the new house, which is us. But I'm sure he was happy to move to see me because I give him a lot more attention. It sounds like they were just like, he was in a kennel all day, and even when I leave, I don't put him in a kennel, but I'm home most of the time anyway, so I give him more attention than anybody because I'm his best buddy. I have a roommate, and he doesn't really give him as much attention as I do, you know, I guess, but he's got a kid too, so you can kind of understand that. So anyway, he'll give him a little token petting, but not, you know, so I'm sure he'll be happy, even if he's got to go through the little inconvenience of going in this vehicle. He should like it. We'll get to go to some warm areas. I just may occasionally have to leave him in the vehicle a little bit to go like inside someplace, but that's one of the reasons I'm leaving this time of year, so it's not going to be like 100 degrees out and stuff. So anyway, I've got this light on here for him. That'll be good. So yeah, I'm going to straighten some of this stuff out later. I think I can get it all straight where it all pretty much fits underneath this fold up chair. I'm kind of in a hurry just to leave right now. Let me switch to the other view. So yeah, I already did kind of a van tour before, although I did kind of change it, but anyway, that's good enough. You can see what it looks like in here. Basically, it's just basically surrounded by these walls, which are real insulated, which are probably more of a helpful thing in the winter. And I've also got a furnace in there, which is down there, which I did a video explaining that. And you can see I'm really stuffing this thing to the limit, aren't I? That's where I keep my propane tank in here. This is a furnace. This was like kind of a master of feet of like how much stuff you could shove into one spot. I mean, although I'm hoping I'm not overweight. I mean, I should weigh the thing sometime because it might be a little bit on the heavy side. Although when you figured that I took all those seats out, that was a lot of weight. Those seats are heavy, those car seats. And then anyway, so you figure, and then also it's designed to have like a lot of, you know, have like 4 people in the back. You figure maybe it's still like, maybe having all this weight over the back axle is not good, but you know. Anyway, this window's blacked out from the inside with this plasti dip. And so is this window. And so is this window, and so is this window. And okay, and I might as well show you in here real quick. You can see I shoved a lot of stuff in here. And then the microwave, got my life jacket there. Oh yeah, and you can watch my other video. I talk about this in depth, but I do have this right here. This is like this inflatable sailboat that I bought, in the actual pieces, like there's this metal frames that are in stuck. Anyway, so I think it'll be a pretty cool thing. At least not many people watch that video, but I thought it was a pretty cool concept because, you know, having a sailboat that you could pack in the vehicle and nobody knows about, and just any place. If I just happen to stop someplace that has water, which I'm actually planning on going to South Carolina. I'll talk about that in a second. So, oh yeah, by the way, this here, okay, this is where I have like this zipper thing that kind of like anyway, it's like this zipper thing that like with this, it's not quite, I need to shove it a little more, but anyway, so it's my way of, so I can have it, I can black that out when I want to, and then not black it out when I want to, and then also I can unzip that when it's warmer or whatever. It's pretty versatile. So yeah, anyways, I guess I'm getting ready to trip. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to plan on going to Charleston, South Carolina, or at least, I mean, well, I'll start maybe a little further upland in South Carolina, maybe around Columbia, I think. Anyway, I'm pretty much just going to go, unless I just happen to see something really interesting on the way. I think I'm pretty much just going to drive straight there as fast as I can, do a couple days of marathon driving, you know, not kill myself. If I'm tired, I'll stop. But because I've been checking the weather a lot, and it's going to be warm a lot of places, like further south, you know, at least in the 50s or 60s, which would be fine. You know, a 50 degree day, like, you know, when I'm used to like this kind of stuff, is not bad, you know. So especially I can wear a coat, and plus at least it'll be warm in the vehicle anyway, so that's not bad. But it is going to be raining a lot, so I guess because we're getting into April, I guess that's usually when it rains, isn't it? Like, but I never really watched a lot of that weather stuff too much, really. Like, but anyway, that's what they used to say. April showers bring May flowers. But it looks like, at least South Carolina, at least in the 10-day forecast, if you can believe that at all, it shows like it not raining there until Friday, and then there being a few days with no rain. So it looks like if I head straight down there, I can get enjoy some non-rainy weather, and then you know, so I'm planning on finding some place to, I think I want to find first just like a lake, a freshwater lake that's up, you know, a little further up from the coast, to try the sailboat, get used to it, because it'll be a little bit more, I've never really been on a boat like in a tide, so maybe I'm just being scared of that because it sounds serious. But I mean, it's but that's a little bit of a thing where I want to get used to it a little bit before I try this thing where I'm not going to do it where there's a big tide. Maybe I should ask somebody. There must be a way where you can, I think they have different charts showing you the tidal currents and how strong it is. And I know there's different factors. I think it's like, okay, if you have like a really wide mouth of like a estuary or inlet, and then it narrows down, I think there's like a big current and stuff like that. So anyway, anybody knows about tides and stuff, they can tell me, any princes of tide out there. So anyway, which is actually where that movie was filmed. That was actually one of the films. I like that film. I mean, that's one of those films you feel a little weird saying you're a guy and you like, but I thought that was a nice film, you know. And it kind of inspired me that film actually kind of inspired me to go on another trip to South Carolina at some point, so, or Charleston. But I can tell that story sometime. It's kind of a funny story that happened when I was really young, this real impulsive thing. But this is somewhat impulsive, but it's not. I've been planning this for a while too, so anyway, so all right, looks like we didn't get any live streamers out there. Let's see. All right, yeah, I guess I'll just stop this live stream for now, and I'll just maybe either do a live stream or a you know, regular videos later on. One thing about this is, like, right now I'm in, oh, here, I do got someone on here. Oh, they were on here for like 1 second. It's like, what were they expecting to see? Like some real like TNA video that they were only on for 1 second, that they clicked on it, you know. Anyway, you wonder, like, what is it? How do they make their mind that, oh, this is really sucks after 1 second? I guess they were expecting to see some hot girl or something. Anyway, so well, that does sell, obviously. I mean, if this is a girl saying this, you know, there'd be like about 100 people on this live stream right now. Like, anyway, so hey, but that's how it goes. We all have our advantages, I guess, but or disadvantages. And then Dave 2D, he had a video there where he's kind of talking about it. It's kind of funny, you know, but he's talking about, you know, some of these guys, which is kind of true. A lot of times when you are kind of like a hater like that, it is kind of, because you got to realize it is kind of like you're jealous, and it's not good to be jealous of people, you know. So it's, jealousy's a bad emotion, you know. Covetousness, it's not a good thing. I mean, in fact, you know, maybe I'll get more into talking about the Bible sometime with you guys, because I do, you know, I haven't really talked about that, but yeah, I am into that. But it's but yeah, covetousness was always like a big thing mentioned in the Bible, you know, like that's, you know, other than like idolatry, maybe those are about the two, and pride, I guess. Yeah, anyway, wasn't gonna get into that right now. So yeah, so I'm just gonna go on my little trip. And now if I do a live stream later, then it's like it'll be crummy quality, because I'll be using the 4G instead of the because right now I'm still close enough to the house to be getting Wi-Fi. And anyway, I live like kind of a busy street here, but it's not too bad though. It's not too, the noise doesn't really bother me too much where I'm in the house. But because yeah, I think with this, I have this prepaid Verizon Unlimited, but I think it's like they really kind of like limit like the stuff like the live streaming and stuff like that, and a few things like that that they, you know, which aren't too good. I mean, now if you, I think yeah, so if you download a video, if you go ahead and just do a regular video, then you can upload it. It's probably gonna be just as good a quality. It just might take a little longer than Wi-Fi, but it's to upload, but it'll still be like the full quality. But when you do this, it's, yeah, it's gonna be let's see. Oh, I think it's just one more thing in the house I want to get. Let's see. Okay, let's think of that. Am I actually gonna need that thing that I just remembered I didn't get? It was kind of, oh shoot. Yeah, I guess I'll run up there and get it real quick. Yeah, it was, I don't know if I'm gonna do this, but I thought about having some way of having like some bigger screen that I could, like a TV that I could put in there, you know, other than just watching stuff on my phone here, because they don't give you, I don't have a hotspot with this, so if they give you a hotspot with this, that would make it real easy to watch videos, but you can't do that on, like, any devices, whether it's okay, it reconnected, that's good. It's this thing where I can hook up like my phone to an HDMI, so which I think would be about the only way that I could watch stuff on a larger monitor, although it may not look very good because you're talking about phone quality over the, but anyway, yeah, so I have that just in case. Maybe along the way I'll see like a cheap like TV someplace that I could just have a little bit. See, I'm getting a bad connection here because we have a repeater in the garage, but I guess the phone's not smart enough to figure out like, hey, it needs to switch over to the other router. But anyway, yeah, kind of a mess out here. Let's see, should I show you my garage real quick? Yeah, we're being transparent today. Okay, yeah, that's my roommate's boat actually, and then I have this sailboat that I was keeping in here, but I found like somebody who I can just keep it as this. Now this is a big sailboat, a regular like solid sailboat that I have besides this raft one, and I'm keeping that at a friend's house, which is good. It gives me a lot more, because there's hardly any room in there during the winter, like when you know, get around and, you know. Anyway, all right, we're getting ready to go, big buddy Charlie. Okay, yeah, he likes blanket stuff soft. Okay, so anybody, I think what I'll do, yeah, I'll go ahead and do a little bit of stream as I'm driving out too. How about that? We don't mind, it's free. I mean, now that data's so cheap and it's so easy to do this, who cares, just film like a 2-hour thing. Now we'll see, it's probably what it's gonna do, so it's gonna disconnect at some point, and then it'll at some point it'll disconnect and then it'll reconnect, and it's gonna be like less quality because it won't be like on the 4G instead. But here we go, buddy. Let's see. Okay, I need to get some gas. Maybe I'll wait. I think I'll get a little bit out of town before I get some. I'll at least get over to Superior, which is in Wisconsin. So yeah. So where am I driving? Oh, here's something you should see. I guess this might be, since Bob Wells is here, be asking about this. That's the down. Oh. Down here, if you can see, this is a poop bucket. It's only 11 inches wide, which is kind of like small, but it's about the only bucket I can fit in there. I think that's still big enough, just gotta be a little careful, huh? And just make sure the right part of the body is right over it, you know? Won't be fun to sit on. I mean, obviously, like most van dwelling things, we're not gonna try to actually, you know, like last time I went on that trip for 8 days, I didn't have to I didn't end up having to poop in the bucket. I mean, of course I peed lots, you know, like everybody does. But, so obviously I'm always gonna, oh, that's something I should have brought. I had like this little shovel. Okay, I'll just buy another one, forget it. I just gotta get on the road, not like, no more screwing around. Yeah, so if I'm in the woods, I just go in like, okay, so I think it's going again. Okay, so now it's on the 4G. But yeah, so I mean, obviously, like most, I'm gonna, if all possible, you know, use gas stations, rest stops to do number 2, obviously, and then just keep it real here, guys. But yeah, that's something Bob Wells every video. I ask you how you go to the bathroom. And anyway, so, but didn't have to do it last time. There's one time where I almost had to, but I didn't have as good a system set up then, so it would have been a little harder. But and then if I'm in the woods, I'll just dig a hole. You know, I mean, unless you're someplace like, supposedly they say like a quartzite, like an RTR. Besides the fact that it's really, there's a lot of people there. It's also like, it's supposed to be rocky, so you couldn't really hardly dig a hole apparently. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's true. It seems like you could like lift some rocks up or something. But anyway, but probably just the fact that there were so many people there, you know. But yeah, but this is gonna be just like regular. All the places I'm going will probably be pretty much woods. If I go, I mean, if I go in the woods, sometimes I'll be in woods, and sometimes I'll be in Walmart. You know, like on the way down, it's just gonna be Walmart. But obviously, I can go to the bathroom there. So yeah, so it's one of those things. It's not very pleasant, but you know, you gotta have it because you never know. And this, you know, but anyway, but yeah, there's not enough room in here for anything bigger than that little bucket. I mean, I had to think for like a long time, like really think like, how am I gonna fit a bucket? You know, that was, you know, that's, you know, because this is, I'm fitting so much in this minivan. You know, it's like, I think I'll switch over to the view of the harbor here. I'm coming down. Okay, hopefully you can see that like very well. Yeah, no, Duluth's really a beautiful city, and I moved here about 10 years ago, and I was really in love with the place for a while, and I still do really love the area. It's just one of those things where, you know, the cold wears on you. Like I said, it's not so much, it's not really in like the negative temperatures. It's so bad. It's just like that. It's on, and then it's still, you know, April. Then May can still be cold, and even June can be pretty cold. It's just like, you know. But then I don't really try to complain too much about it, just because, you know, nobody made me move here, so it seems kind of stupid. But you know, but that's why probably a lot of people live in this area. It is a port. It's a beautiful area, but it's also a big important port too. I mean, obviously tourism became more important like in recent years, but I guess a lot of parts of the country that used to not really be tourist locations, but people couldn't travel very easily, you know, that were just like, you know, so areas like that, so people like to go to the desert and hang out, you know, so that's, obviously desert's always been like a place where nobody, it's on inhospitability, nobody wants to live, but now that you can bring a vehicle that carries 50 gallons of water or whatever with, you know, carry a bunch of water, you know, it doesn't matter so much, you know, and so it's something like, so it's the only real resource is like that it's beautiful, you know, so it's just good for, I mean, but, you know, hopefully it'll stay that way, you know, it's like, hopefully, I know there's been some talk about trying to sell off some of the national forest and BLM. I hope that doesn't happen. I mean, I actually voted for Trump. I don't want to get too much into that, but I mean, that's one of the things I don't like that he was doing. I mean, I don't think, yeah, he, hopefully that doesn't happen, but yeah, that's a beautiful harbor there. I go sailing out there in my little sailboat, and so that's the harbor, and then further out's the actual water. But the one thing about this sailboat, though, it's one of those things. I mean, we're talking about the big sailboat, okay, not the sailboat I'm bringing with me, but it's like a 19-foot sailboat, so it's, you know, it's a hard regular sailboat, but it's not really built for like what they call a blue water boat, which is one that's really made for like the ocean or even like, you know, the Great Lakes where there's big giant waves. I mean, I went out there the one time when it was kind of like a nice day when there wasn't many waves on the Great Lake, on the Lake Superior, and I had my one friend with me who I think is a better at sailing than I am. So, you know, it was, I felt good having him with me. So, you know, he's one of those guys who seem real, I'm real excitable. He's like real guy who's real good in a crisis type thing. You know, he seemed like, oh heck, I'm going the wrong way, by the way. Okay, this is like where you got to go move over a few lanes here. This thing feels a little weird after all this new weight I put in here, but hey, okay, got Charlie. Now, I think Charlie, he'll always want to be coming over and get petted every second, but that's okay. I like petting him up, of course, but there's sometimes where I think he kind of chooses where sometimes he'll want to like lay on you or something, and then you keep getting petted, but then if you kind of push him away, then he'll just kind of like lay on your lap and not, you know, so he kind of chooses, I guess, the lower level of intimacy, I guess, if he doesn't, you know. We're on a going trip, buddy, probably poo. Yeah, I took Charlie to the vet the other day, and it was the first time I had him to the vet since we got him. I guess, okay, we got him about 3 years ago, so I guess really I should have him to the vet. Got him his rabies shots, and then they gave him a heartworm test, but then, yeah, they did find he had like a heart murmur, which, he's like 8 or 9 years old, and then, anyways, that's not, but, well, although they said it's like a class 2 to 3 out of 6. See, I just knew that because I called up my friend in DC, his wife, Navita does, she's Indian. Anyway, she's a veterinarian, because I was asking her when I was waiting, after they said like about the heart murmur, I was waiting for them to run that wing. She said, oh, make sure to ask him like what class it was, and then she said, yeah, I mean, that's, you know, it's not good, of course, but maybe it won't be that bad, but I need to take him to like a vet. And then I gave him they gave him this heartworm medicine, which I guess is really unrelated, but it was just, and I gave it to him, and then he went out and he puked it, and then he went back and like ate most, I guess it must have tasted pretty good, so he went back and like, it looked like he ate most of it out of the snow, where he puked it in the snow, so it looked like he, anyway, I just noticed this camera looks pretty, well, I guess it's because I got a dirty windshield, the combination of that, and then with the low quality, yeah, it's a dark day out here. Nice out here. So, yeah, I mean, I still like the area. I mean, I still probably keep living in Duluth, but I mean, so I don't know if I ever, because I mean, I probably had, you know, like most people who get into these van life trips, I'm sure a lot of, you know, they have like these fantasies or think like, oh, maybe it would be cool to live in a van. But one thing, it'd be kind of tough to do up here, and I don't really want to move someplace else. You know, I do have friends up here and stuff, and my church and stuff, you know, so I don't, but here it'd be tough because, okay, now this vehicle's already set up where, okay, it can stand cold. I mean, I can stay, I stayed warm in this thing, you know, except for it always is kind of cold by the floor, by the door. You can't really, it's hard to deal with that. But I mean, but it stayed plenty warm in here, and I could get it as warm as I wanted when it was like minus 20 before, you know. Like if you watch that one video, it was called like Red Light Relaxing or something. That one, yeah, that one. I gotta be careful with this car because this fuel gauge doesn't really work, so I have to just kind of look at the mileage. So okay, I'll get some, like, I just want to get a little out of town first, you know. You know how you just like that, it psychologically just has that feeling where you just feel like somebody's, when you're wanting to leave, it's like, okay, I just gotta get out of town, you know, I just can't, you know. Yeah, this is Superior, Wisconsin, right on the other side. They call the two areas the twin ports because they both have ports, you know, they both have lots of big ships coming in. And it was sort of like, yeah, it was sort of like a deal where originally there was only one. I don't want to screw anything up here. Anyway, so yeah, they call it the twin ports because there's both sides have like these big ore ships come in, and there's ocean going ships that come in here. Although it's not, I think it's only like 15% of the ships are ocean going. Most of it is like, most of the shipping that goes on is like these big ore freighters. So they bring, yeah, they bring like iron ore is mined in the Iron Range, which is about an hour and a half north of Duluth, and then they bring it down on the trains through down into Duluth and Superior. They do it in two harbors too. I get, you know, that's a smaller port there. And I guess, let's see. Oh yeah, I guess they do it in some. There's one in Silver Bay further up too, but I'm not sure exactly how that works. But yeah, they do some kind of sorting. So I don't know if that's like a different grade of stuff where they have to sort it more maybe or something. I don't know. At some point, like this taconite, I think they weren't sure if they could make it into like really use it for iron, making iron, but then somehow they had to come up with some kind of process for like separating, make basically like enriching the material enough to where it was actually worth doing. Oh, hey, it looks like that, even with all that driving, twisting around, it looks like Charlie's little water dish didn't really spill much, so that's good. I could just do that. I could just spill it kind of, it won't matter if I get a little water on the floor. And yeah, so anyway, what was I saying? So anyway, but most of all the iron ore gets shipped out of Duluth and Superior, which are on the same harbor here, you know, share the same harbor, and called the Twin Ports. And there's a lot of ships that come through. It's in fact, I think it's like more ships come through out of all the Great Lake ports. More tonnage comes through Duluth, Superior, and then all the Great Lake ports combined. And then, oh, by the way, here's like a ship here. See, over here is like, this is called Fraser Boat Works. They have like a dry dock over here. Actually, I should go over there and take a video of that sometime. I haven't really actually been that close to it before, but yeah, they have like a dry dock there. They have like different ships there, and they like maybe sometimes like paint them and stuff. But I think sometimes they have these ships laying around. There are some of these. Oh, the Liard Treduth. Oh wait, oh that's right. There's a Paul Treduth. Paul R. Treduth is like the biggest one in the Lee. I guess it's like, I think Lee might be like, I think Paul Treduth, I think was named after this guy who is, I forget who he was. He's some engineer, head of something with the Great Lakes. And I think Lee might be his wife then. Okay, but anyway, so they named a ship after her too. Oh no, maybe he owns a company. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, okay. And then lots of industry over here. You can see here's like some big thing there, and you can kind of see the lake over there too. Too bad like this isn't going to come out real good on this live stream, but you know. But anyway, yeah. Well, at least this is kind of a video diary for me, and maybe if I show it to some friends and stuff, it's even if not many people have the patience to listen to all this, but you can just watch as much as you want. Yeah, hey, Camel Dave was always complaining about how like, hey, you say like how Adam Wu did like a 9-hour live stream and had the super chat going, but you know, but you have to really like, I guess once you get like, you establish yourself as kind of like a YouTube celebrity, then you can get enough where you can make money just doing something like that. But I don't know how long it would last. just maybe you gotta do enough like real videos every once in a while to keep the popularity up, you know, but I don't know. But that takes a while to get to that level. I don't know if you have to have at least a couple thousand subscribers even to be eligible for super chat or what it is, but anyway, I mean, it's kind of like, you know, it's sort of a bogus thing, but I don't know, different opinions on it. I mean, you know, people trying to, but anyway, this is Superior. I used to live over in this area, Superior, when I lived here for like the first year I lived here. I lived with this guy named Mark, and then he got married like a year later, and this is actually there. Now, Charlie actually belonged to them, to Mark and them, but I think he was just like, Charlie was always like, you know, they could tell Charlie's a real needy dog. He really likes attention, doesn't like being alone much. And yeah, and they just, you know, they just do like probably, you know, they just, oh, you guys want to take a dog, you know. It was actually officially my roommate who took the dog, and it was, but then I ended up becoming like the master, really. I think it's just like, I think it's really, I mean, it's a little bit like, I think he was kind of like feeling kind of bad because he had like this thing going on where, well, anyway, never mind. I shouldn't get into that because if someone else figured out who this is somehow. But anyway, so yeah, but it's sort of like a thing where he was kind of like excited about it. But that was before he had his son living with us, and he just kind of, it's probably hard to give attention to both. It's a nice little house here. Oh, that's Barker's Island. That's where a whole bunch of sailboats. You can see the sail. You might be able to see the sailboats are up on their, they're up on the ground. But once it gets, you know, after all the ice melts on the heart, then they'll be down in there. And then there's those. Now those are some really expensive sailboats. I mean, those are like those 100,000, 200,000. I don't know. I mean, but a lot of those are probably people who like live down in like the Twin Cities or something. Just come up here every once in a while, have someone take care of it. Because there was like one boat. Me and my dad. He usually comes up every summer, and he was just noticing, man, that boat has been there. Like, he's like, man, that boat has like never moved, you know. So that's kind of the sad thing too. Some of these people, they might be like a millionaire, billionaire, whatever, you know, I don't know, just really, but then they might like never have the time to actually use it, you know. I guess this isn't always true, but a lot of times there are, like, they say there's people, like, some people have either time and no money, or they have lots of, or, you know, some, but then people have money but no time, but then there's some, you know, people have both, you know. So the way to go. Let's see. Looks like the, yeah, it looks like the bay's breaking up out there. Can't really, I can see. Yeah, the thing is really looking foggy. I don't know why this thing's really looking blurry today. It's like someone put Vaseline on it. That was actually, for some reason, that's something they did for some reason. They used to put Vaseline on like the camera lenses. I don't know what the purpose was, but yeah, it's really looking foggy there. But anyway, just taking you for a ride here. Not taking you for a ride like make money, but taking you for a ride like anyway. Yeah, so getting kind of near the, still going through Superior here. And Superior is kind of like Wisconsin, Superior, Wisconsin. Yeah, it's very flat, as Duluth's very hilly. It's built on a big hill, and then Superior is real flat. And then, I don't know, a lot of people from Duluth and different people always kind of like make jokes about Superior being kind of crappy, but I don't know. I think it's an okay area. I mean, it's not very rich, but of course there's some parts of Duluth that are pretty ghetto too. So I mean, I don't know. It's, you know, I just like it. I like kind of the contrast. Sometimes of coming over, like it kind of feels good, like if you're in a place that's real hilly, to all of a sudden then come to some place where there's oh, got someone on here to see if I get the name real quick. Hey, I see someone on there. How's it going today? I'm just leaving on my trip today, driving from Superior, Wisconsin, and I'm pretty much planning on heading straight to South Carolina nonstop, because right now, because I wanted to go to the trip to the East Coast, but it looks like that's about the only part of the country that in the 10-day forecast isn't going to be raining a lot. So I'm pretty much, unless I see something really interesting. Okay, so that person was only on for a second. F you. No. Anyway, oh, it's me. Oh, someone saw my stream. Well, I think one time as I'm doing these streams, oh, this is kind of a nice marshy area. This is the Nemadji River here, and that's usually the campsite back there that my dad stays at when he comes to Duluth area, not. But anyway, I was saying that I kind of like this. I don't know. There's a thing where I feel like sometimes going like to the flatter area instead of like the big hills, you feel kind of like less confined. It feels more open here in Superior. Hey, how's it going there? Oh, I got two people on here. How's it going? This is John, and just to remind you, I'm just doing a live stream here where I'm leaving on my trip from Duluth, Minnesota, heading down towards South Carolina. So anyway, oh, looks like I got a like there. That's good. I'm sure this is probably looking pretty fuzzy, this part. I did part of the video earlier when I was still at the house, when I was in Wi-Fi, but now that I'm going on the 4G, it's probably not looking too great. But let's see if are there any Show live chat. Let's see. Okay, I guess the chat's cut. So if anybody wants to say hi, go ahead. I got Charlie in the vehicle. Oh, you might as well see what I look like, huh? Oh, that scares you away. Okay. There you go. Hey guys, you get a haircut actually. For any of these van dwelling trips, you gotta like have your hair cut so you don't look like a bum, huh? There's Charlie. Hey Charlie. Hey Charlie. Okay. Come here, Charlie. Get some petting over here. Ooh, just gotta right through that light a little bit. Come here, buddy. Okay. Oh, usually I gotta force him off of me now. He's like not maybe shy of the camera. Let's see. Maybe I could do like. Oh, there we go. He's doing like he forcibly forces the hand into his snout. Hey, buddy. Drawn. Let's see. Doesn't look like I'm seeing any chat so far, which is fine. I'm just making sure it's just because no one's chatting. Not that there's any you're doing anything wrong here. Okay. I'm not sure the road first. Let's see. You know, one thing. Oh, how about like that? Hey, that's kind of good. You can kind of see what the road, this area looks like. One thing that's kind of good about live stream that I noticed that like when you film like at least on an Android, and I read about this, and I don't know if there's any way to deal with this that that there doesn't seem to be a way on Android that I know about that you can be like filming a video then switching between the front and the back camera, but for some reason you can do it on live, so that's one good thing. I can just press a button where if you were doing it with if you're filming like a regular, you know, shot video, then you couldn't really switch, which would make a pain if you just want to do kind of like a one. Sometimes I might want to just do like a one shot thing, you know, just kind of like pause and just keep going, just not have to edit it or nothing, you know, because it's like, I mean, yeah, I mean the edited video. Oh, here's a nice train yard here. Okay, I don't know how that's gonna look. Okay. Oh, you know what they should do on this camera is they should actually show it, like give you an idea of what it actually looks like when it's uploaded, and not just because I'm seeing here, I'm sure it looks better than it really looks in reality, but it doesn't really look that good because this is like it's pretty foggy and stuff out here. But what was I talking about a second ago? Oh, the train yard. And then anyway, so yeah, so you can switch between cameras, so that makes it a lot easier. Being able to switch cameras, but for some reason you can't. I mean, maybe there is some other app that allow you to do it, but at least the regular camera app doesn't let you. I remember there was, I think it was a Carolyn Caravan or one of those. I think she was saying like, oh, I can't switch it. Yeah, I mean, I looked that up. It doesn't appear to be like an answer to that. Okay, so now we're getting kind of out of Superior and kind of getting into the woods. So I'm going to Charleston, South Carolina. Well, I probably might stop someplace like a little further up, like maybe Columbia. I mean, not in all one thing, but anyway, it's 20 hours down there, so I'm just gonna maybe in like 2 days, just get down to like South Carolina as fast as I can from Duluth, Minnesota, and just because, well, you're gonna have to get probably at least into Illinois or Kentucky before it really starts getting warm, and then but then it's, you know, it's just gonna be raining everywhere, which I guess is kind of like that in like the end of May and March usually. I don't know, but anyway, there's a lot of rain going on everywhere, so might hit some rain on the way back, way down actually. It might be raining like here. Anyway, get the cruise control going here. Yeah, the cruise control is really good to have when you're driving. Besides keeping you from getting a ticket, it also just, I think it just mentally makes it a lot easier. That you don't have to keep concentrating on looking at the speedometer and stuff, you know. It kind of screws you up when they do these things, like they have these towns like where the speed limit all of a sudden changes and stuff, which doesn't happen so much on interstates and stuff. This is actually not an interstate, this is Highway 53, but it's 4 lanes, so it's like, okay, so it's like 2 hours down to Eau Claire, Wisconsin, or Eau Claire, however you pronounce it, and then that's not much until you get there. Then you go, I forget the highways, but you go through like Madison, 94 I think it is Madison, you go through the Wisconsin Dells, and then, actually I think when I get to Madison, I kind of got to make a decision whether to go through Chicago or just go, I think I'll probably go around it. Yeah, it's probably not worth trying, because even if Google's telling me that's the quickest way, which it might be, you just don't want to deal with that kind of stuff. I mean, although it would be kind of cool to go through Chicago, because I've been through there for a while, but I'm going to go the way where there's, I think if you go straight through the route through to Chicago, there's no toll roads that way, but if you go that other way, like that's more like the belt that goes around, there's all those, it's like a toll road like every like 10 miles, I mean, you know, there's something, it's just like so stupid, and anyway. So anyway, so who we got watching here? Anyway, well, I just have this on as background noise. I only got like about 260 subs at this point, so I can't do super chat, but I don't know. Which maybe I could say this. It's kind of good. Maybe people can look at this stuff later on, but I have this job where I do it from the road. It's the main thing I do is it's like this website stuff, nothing real super technical, just kind of like monitoring these websites and making sure sales are up at the right time and stuff like, you know, these basic changes. And then I do some like writing stuff. I do some freelance writing, like I've done some articles and stuff for like some Duluth stuff, although I haven't done that a whole lot. I mean, one reason is because you have to really work to get that stuff, so I should really work on getting that more, just because I probably need more stuff to back up, because some of this other stuff I'm doing is maybe not the most solid stuff in the world as far as like, you know, guaranteed to be around. I mean, I do this other writing. Most of the stuff I do is for my friend Robert, who kind of got me into a lot of this stuff. Yeah, before I met him, before he kind of got me into some of this stuff, I was like working at Walmart, so that's good, you know. And anyway, so I do a few things like that so I can do my job from the road. I just kind of like earlier today did a bunch of work, so I'd be caught up on a lot of it for a while, so I wouldn't, at least the next couple of days I don't really have to do much. Now, if I have like some urgent work that comes in through those websites, then I'll pull over on the side of the road to do that. But I shouldn't have too much to do. Because the website stuff I do kind of includes a certain amount of like, just like basic maintenance stuff, then a certain amount of like urgent tickets. And when those come up, I mean, yeah, you better do them quick, you know, because it's like, well, if it's like an urgent ticket, that usually means like I've made a mistake, you know, put like a wrong date on. I just, you know, obviously want to change as quick as I can so the boss doesn't get as mad. And or there's like a high priority one that's just like, maybe a lot of times those are ones where I didn't do anything wrong, but maybe like the client forgot to put up some sale and they're like, oh, can you please? And that's one of the things they liked about me, is that I always get to these things really quick. I think maybe because some of the other people doing this job that are also contractors, they have like other jobs too much and they're not able to drop everything. Where I do other stuff besides the website stuff, but it's all stuff, but it's the top priority as far as I can. The other stuff isn't stuff that's so important that has to be done right away. It might have it, but anyway. So anyway, should I just make this like an 8-hour live stream or something? Oh, one thing I should do is plug in this power cord. I'm gonna drain this. This while I'm driving. Oh, no, I think. Sorry. One thing I don't like is Android. It has kind of like this metal cup, this thing that kind of covers the. It kind of covers the the power slot, whatever you want to call it. But that kind of makes it tough to get to. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Looks like it's charging now. Let's see. I think it's plugged in. Okay. Let me see if it's charging right here at the minute. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, hey, Free RV, how's it going, man? And we'll go on a trip. Yeah, hey, where do you live? Hey, Free RV, where do you live? Oh, he's gone. Okay, never mind. I did have someone come on for a second. Free RV. He's posted some nice things on my page before, on my channel. So anyway. So yeah, I mean, I'll just kind of, maybe we'll keep, well, you know, I know one thing though, this is not a good time to do a live stream to begin with though. Oh shoot, hold on, I'm kind of screwed up here, need to make a wrong turn here. Oh, okay, I got kind of scared for a second. The car made a weird noise, but it was just that I accidentally turned the cruise control off. Okay, glad the cruise control's working. Not too long ago, the cruise control wasn't working, like, and then it turned out there was just a blown fuse, but I was kind of like scared about that. And, oh, you know, no, I think what happened is I may have actually taken the fuse out stupidly I needed something else. Okay. Yeah, cruise control definitely makes these long trips a lot more fun, enjoyable. You don't get a ticket, then also it's better for just like, like I said, you don't have to mentally, hey, Free RV, are you back on now? I don't know if you disconnected. If, I was asking like what part of the country you're living in. I don't even know if it's Free RV who jumped back on, but I just saw. Oh, got two people. Got two people. I'll just tell you guys right now. I'm a little bit south of Superior, Wisconsin, and driving toward Charleston, South Carolina. Well, actually, to South Carolina. Maybe not. I may stop a little further into Charleston. Basically, I'm just going down there because it looks like it's about the only place I'm seeing where it's not really supposed to rain that much on the East Coast in the next 10 days. So. So pretty much going to go straight through unless I see something that really piques my interest. I mean, not in one day. Probably do it like in 2 days. It'd probably be good for that because it's like 2,000 miles. So let's see. I mean, wait. no, maybe it's not not 2,000 miles. It's like, no, it's like a 20-hour trip, I guess, is what I was thinking. Okay. No, it's probably less than 2,000 miles. Let's see. I think it's about 1,000 from like the Mississippi River to the East Coast, and I'm further up north here, but so you figure maybe it's gonna be like about 1,500 miles or something, you know. Anyway, oh yeah, I need to get gas pretty soon. I was like, on that trip I took back in December, I was heading into this kind of like remote part of Iowa, like into Nebraska, and then it's just like I didn't realize, like, oh shoot, I gotta get, because okay, the fuel gauge doesn't really work on this thing very well, so it's like what I just go by is just, you know, use the counter, just fill up like every 300 miles. I figure it's a good time. But then I was almost up to like 400 miles. Like, oh damn! And I just had to stop, and I was just like, oh, that would have been bad. I could have like, and then I think it was like, I found it. Yeah, it was probably down to like less than a gallon, like half a gallon left, I think. But yeah, that wasn't too good. Driving through this, I don't know if this lens is dirty or what, man. This is really looking. I think we might just take a look here in a second. Oh, that looks a little better. Yeah, I think it looks a little better. I cleaned the screen. Okay, it must have been like this. Must have been like the lens was kind of dirty. It was really looking kind of blurry out of there. But I mean, I'm sure it doesn't look too good because I tried it before. These live streams don't look very good on the 4G. I mean, at least with this Verizon prepaid, which is like, or the Verizon prepaid unlimited, which isn't quite as good as like the regular unlimited. But really, I mean, frankly, I mean, to tell the truth, it's just I was kind of afraid I didn't, because I had some credit problems. I wasn't going to be able to get the postpaid one, so yeah, that's why I got this. But I also have this AT&T hotspot, which I'm going to use for mostly doing my work stuff. But what I'll do is on that is that's you know, that's only like what, like 1 or 2 gigabytes a month. So that one I'm just going to like you know, just use that and just strictly go on web page stuff. Because if you just go on web page stuff, I mean, it doesn't really use that much bandwidth. You can probably only go through like a gigabyte a month if you're just doing that. But it's like when you go on video, I mean, yeah, it just like, I mean, you'll go through in like 20 minutes more than like a month's worth of data. I mean, that might be an exaggeration, but it's a lot. I mean, it's like, you know, any video. Start watching YouTube videos, but it's a lot. That last trip, I didn't actually have a. That's one of the reasons I got kind of bored. I didn't have an unlimited plan back then. It was kind of stupid. It was finally broke down. I decided to pay the $70 a month to get this unlimited plan. But this ought to make this part of it, you know, a lot more entertainment on the road and stuff. Being able to either do the live streams or let's see. I was like, oh, it looks like a cop up there. I guess not. Doing these live. Actually, there shouldn't usually be many cops along here. I've never hardly seen a cop on this stretch of highway. And this is kind of a nice, relaxing stretch. This stretch between Superior, Wisconsin, and Eau Claire. Then it gets a little busy after Eau Claire. You get more on the interstate, but it's still pretty nice. It's a lot nicer than the ride down to like the Twin Cities. I mean that. I mean 35. It's not that bad, Highway 35, but it's like it's a lot busier than this. I mean, it's a lot. You know, there's a lot of times you can go on this road at night if you're coming back, but you might not see anybody like almost like all the way between Eau Claire and Superior. But it's nice northern woods here. Popular tree, or not popular trees, birch trees. Maybe there is popular trees too. Yeah, I don't actually know much about trees really. I kind of like to know more about that, but different types of trees. But this is mostly these white ones are mostly birch trees, which the Indians or Native Americans. Well, actually, I shouldn't say anything because actually I don't think any Native Americans actually really even politically correct people that complain about that. You know, so. Connection, so I don't know if you're actually able to see this, but oh, there we go. But yeah, they use for like birch bark and canoes and all that. I think a lot of these trees are actually might be kind of dead ones because they don't have any leaves. I mean, or maybe they don't. Oh no, what am I saying? Oh, that's really stupid. That was really stupid. What am I thinking? Yeah, of course they don't have leaves this time of year yet. Okay. Okay. But the other thing. Yeah, what I just I can take some raw stuff, like intergo later, and like split it up into like different segments, you know. But it's all right. It's not like it's costing me any money to do this, right? And once you monthly rate, it doesn't cost you anymore to put out like 15 hours of video, right? I remember, I mean, for a long time, I think YouTube used to be like I think it may have been like a pretty much a limited videos at first, and then it became like 10 minutes for a long time, and I don't know what it was, and then it started with, you know, like 500 hours or something, but, you know, but, yeah, I keep going like this thing where it keeps saying bad connection, so I guess I'm going to these spots where it's, yeah. Signal's not very good, but hopefully people can still hear me, just maybe not, it'll be really, but, oh, but the thing about that hotspot too that'll be good though, so I was kind of forced into getting that hotspot because Verizon prepaid doesn't have a hotspot. I mean, it had a hotspot that I used back when I was when I was only paying like like 3 gigabytes a month, and I had to use a third-party app to do it. And I thought that it was still going to work, and I tried to ask him, making sure, just making sure, like, you don't change the operating system, right? I was trying to ask the lady. I didn't want to ask the lady when I switched over why I was going to do this, and no, you do not. Okay, I made sure of that, because I thought that, because my understanding is what happened is people were saying it wasn't working with the postpaid, and I thought what it was is they were somehow forcing your phone to do some update to go into a newer operating system, and then the hotspot wasn't working on it, but I don't know, I guess they do something else to block it out. So anyway, I guess I figured that I got kind of, okay, I got into that, and then I realized, okay, yeah, I guess I kind of got screwed. I can't use my hotspot anymore, so, but I got the unlimited data, so I went ahead and got that AT&T one, which, yeah, I know that's which is kind of expensive, but I guess I'll probably maybe only do it on trips like this. I need to activate that at some point, actually, but, put some more time on it, but I guess the good thing about that, too, is I will have 2 different, carrier networks. So what I can do is I have like an older phone, and I can have that to watch for my email on that. So if I'm in a place like where my Verizon one's not working, then I'll still be able to pick up like my email on there. And then also like I guess if it was really got down to emergency, I could even like, if let's say I was in a spot where AT&T worked but Verizon didn't, I could like email someone like, hey, call the police or something, or it's like, so there's still a way of doing communication. Yeah, maybe bring like I need to bring a CB, a ham radio along, some signal flares, like, yeah, what else? 53 south, yeah. US Highway 53, yeah, this is a nice drive through here. I mean, further south you get out of like the North Woods and you get more to like farmland and stuff. This is like some pretty, I guess the North Woods, technically it's like, yeah, so it's kind of like northern Minnesota. I don't know if it starts around Hinckley is where officially it starts, or if it's, and then, yeah, anyway, further south, I mean, Wisconsin's more like these rolling hills and stuff, and, I don't know if, like, let's see, I don't know if, like, maybe if some parts of Wisconsin were naturally treeless, like, were more like, because I know, like, parts, okay, obviously, a lot of Illinois was prairie, but it was, actually didn't have any trees, actually, even before the white man came to America, and then, parts of like Minnesota and parts of Missouri. I don't know. Anyway, I had this one map at home that was kind of interesting. It was showing like the tree cover map for like, although this is from like the late 1880s, so it's possible by then they could have actually cut down enough trees. But I don't know if there's actually a map where you can see, like, I was kind of curious about that, like, which parts of the country didn't have any trees even before we started cutting down all these trees for lumber and stuff. Well, okay, there's the western stuff, of course. Okay, out that area, of course, the desert and the plains, of course, which I understand that's because those areas don't get much rainfall. That's why there's not really any trees there. But like Illinois, a lot of Illinois didn't have any trees. It was a prairie, but it rains plenty there. So I think they said it had something to do with, like, I don't know, somehow like the grass grew up after some glacier came down, and it basically I think it's like the turf grew so thick that it couldn't grow or something. I mean, because the thing is, if you cut like, if you like plow the ground and plant some trees, I mean, it'll grow great, Illinois. But of course they never do that hardly because it's such valuable farmland. But some of the best farmland in the world. Like I guess it's not. It's probably not southern Illinois. That's probably more like hilly there. But when you get into like around where I live, where I'm from originally, St. Louis area, across from there, that's great farmland. As is Missouri until you get like a little outside, getting to the Ozarks, I guess. And anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, then there'll be some areas where you'll see like the trees, like along like the like those creeks. And then also you'll see places where these farmers have planted these trees, you know, right along, like, you know, to make it a little nicer around their house. And also they have kind of like a windbreak too, so because you got some big winds out there on the, you know, on those big fields and stuff. And one thing I never understood is a lot of those, you'll see a lot, you'll drive through and you'll see a lot of these big farm fields, and you'll see like the farmhouse there. And a lot of times the farmhouse, it's like right by the highway, you know, so, and I'm always wondering that, it's like, hey, you know, you have all those, you know, thousands of acres or hundreds of acres, whatever, you know, of land you could have put that house in, you put it like right on the highway, you know. I never understood like why that is, you know. But I mean, I guess there's some spots where they could have put the house in before, but I don't know, it seems like a pretty big pattern that a lot of these farmhouses are always like on the highway, like right off the highway, you know, when they could have put the house anywhere on that land. So I don't know. I don't know if like a lot of these farms, they're saying like a lot more, there's not as many family farms now, so I don't know if a lot of these are corporate ones and nobody actually lives there. And I don't know. And of course they're going to do stuff like automating farms eventually. It's probably going to all be done by robots eventually, you know. So, but anyway, just yeah, getting a bad connection here again. I mean, we'll go back and take a look at this. It looks okay on this, on my screen, but when I go back and look at it later to see like what it looks like on the thing, it's going to be like a it just looks like a totally pixelated thing. But anyway, actually this is kind of nice just talking on this phone, even though nobody's watching this. Only one person's watching. He seems like he's probably like out. But yeah, if anybody else is on there, say hi. If it's not, I did see that RV. Oh, I forgot his name. Traveling RV. Okay, I'm forgetting your name right now. But anyway, I know the guy. I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. But yeah, if anybody else is on there, just say hi if you want. And then if he's on there, I was asking him, because he said something about he's going to travel across the country. I was asking him what part of the country he's from. I think the couple of videos I watched of his, he was somewhere like in, like, he might have actually been someplace like South Carolina or something in the video. I mean, I don't know if he, you know, he was doing some ones in the ocean. I mean, they look pretty good. He didn't really talk a lot in them. Now, he had some kind of like letters there. I guess, I don't know if he's Russian maybe, because it was some kind of like Russian looking letter. Maybe it was Greek. I don't know. No, I think it looked more Russian. I think I know what like the Greek alphabet looks like, kind of. But I actually can kind of like read Hebrew a little bit. That was something I don't know. I get these different interests. Sometimes we're trying to learn stuff, and because I'm into like, one thing I'm into like, you know, the Bible history and that kind of stuff, and then, you know, the Bible and history. And I was interested, like, I thought it'd be cool to like read Hebrew, and as far as I went is like I can kind of like pronounce it, just read it a little bit and pronounce it, but as far as like the words, but that's a problem. I mean, I just get into so many things where, you know, where I get into it and then it's just hard to keep up with it. Like when I was a kid, like martial arts and trying to do that. I tried starting martial arts a couple times, and I was doing like, the last time I was doing jiu-jitsu, and I thought that was real fun, you know, and stuff, and they were doing like these throws and like these always grappling. I like jiu-jitsu. It's kind of like a good, but it didn't last very long. But I think jiu-jitsu seemed like it was a pretty practical one, because it was really focused on stuff like grappling and like twisting someone's arm back and stuff, you know, twisting someone's wrist and stuff. And then you know, that kind of stuff's pretty practical. Like, oh, it's kind of funny, my grandpa, he was kind of a funny story. Now he just died this last year, but I think when he was probably about 60 or 65 or 70, I don't know. He was like, I don't know how old he was, but he was, you know, you could consider like a fairly old guy. And but he was always seemed like he was in, you know, shape until, yeah, he was always in pretty good shape until like about 10 years ago. And I think he always like, actually, he was always physically pretty good. I think it was more his mind was going eventually. It was more like, you know, dementia, but which I think actually is like how his mom was. So that seems to be kind of a pattern on my mom's side of the family, at least, of being like kind of like staying maybe kind of physically healthy, but not like having a good heart and stuff, but then like having like your mind go, I don't know. But of course I'm pretty overweight, and I don't think he was like as fat as I was back then. So maybe I'll try to lose some weight on the road too. That'd be good. Actually, I did find that last road trip I was, because when you're not always just like having the food constant access to the food, it makes it to where you're not, you know, you tend to like, when you actually got to do some work to do it, you know. As long as I'm not doing stuff like fast food and stuff. There's a guy from Florida. Actually, I see a lot of Florida plates around Minnesota. They seem like they're kind of like, a lot of these guys are probably snowbirds from Minnesota. A lot of them go to Arizona too. It seems like I've known more like people in Minnesota who become snowbirds going to Arizona and stuff. But I'll stop at the next one. Okay. Yeah, Charlie's doing good. I guess once you get in the road, you kind of relax. You kind of like have a little blanky move. I'll show Charlie here. Little buddy, I got kind of like lonely. I think I'll be a lot less lonely this time having Charlie. I mean, it'll be more of a pain having Charlie. It's more inconvenient, you know, and stuff. I'll have to like deal with stuff, you know, stop, take him for a walk, and then I'll kind of like, I mean, I'll probably leave him in the car for a little bit, especially once he gets used to it. Maybe, I mean, I'll try to make it where I don't leave him in a car more than like 2 hours. I mean, which might sound kind of, I mean, but it's gonna be, I'm not gonna leave him in a car if it's hot, okay? But I think it should be really pretty much like the most like 70 degrees in here, so that's fine. And if it was cold, I could even like, I have this like heater in the back that'll be, I can turn on to make, you know, with the thermostat to keep it like and he's got blankets here to lay until if it got cold. But I think in the daytime, pretty much if there's sun too, it'll be like pretty. But it seems like he kind of likes sitting up in the cab too, like when the sun's out. He kind of, I notice he likes being in the sun. Yeah, he'll like lay, like he lays in my bed, you know, lays in my bed during the daytime when I'm home most of the time doing work. And I notice like, you know, don't get that much sun in that room usually, but there's a certain time in the morning when you get a little bit, you know, in the afternoon, he'll kind of like move over to the part of the bed that has the sun on it. And, you know, hey, big buddy boo. Yeah, I love dogs. I always have. They're so nice. A lot of people don't like them, but Charlie, yeah, he likes attention like much more than like any other dog I've ever had. I mean, I guess he was the first dog I officially actually owned. The other ones were ones maybe at my house. But it seems like a lot of them, they just kind of like, they'd want to get, some of them would just want to get, okay, the Golden Retriever, he liked a lot of attention. We had him, and then, but I think even him, he didn't just beg for the attention the way Charlie does. And then we had this one, he was like a buddy. He was I guess he was kind of like a sheepdog mix. I mean, he was a mutt, you know, but a sheepdog mix. And I really liked him and stuff. He's real cute, but he was like, but he kind of was a loner dog. You know, he liked just kind of like being, he wouldn't like come and sleep in your room. You know, he wouldn't do that. He just kind of wouldn't come in there. And like Charlie would always like follow me everywhere. But he would like, yeah, I don't know. He just didn't really, some dogs are like that where they just don't, not all dogs are into attention. They just want to kind of, some of them just want to be left alone and stuff. And they just want to like, you know, I think Bob Wells was saying that in the one video. He said like his old dog who died before Cody, he said that dog just kind of like, you know, he just maybe wanted to get petted once a day, twice a day, you know, just kind of like a couple times when he woke up. And then he said, and then he died. And then he went to, I think he said he went to, I think it was Jackson Hole, Jackson, Wyoming. Okay, I guess Jackson Hole's not actually the name of the town; it's the name of the area. But anyway, it's and he went to like this. They're having like some adoption at some like humane society there or something. And I think he said he you know, he went over to pet a couple different dogs. You know, I guess Cody was a puppy. And then he said, and then Cody just kind of like put his face on Bob's chest, and he's like, okay, yeah, I think this is a dog for me, you know, just like, you know, it's you know, yeah, Charlie, yeah, he follows me everywhere. I think pretty much, well, unless it's at night and he really gets tired enough, then he may not follow me downstairs, but pretty much every time I go downstairs, go to the bathroom, or anything, I mean, he'll be downstairs. And it's funny with dogs because, like, at least with Charlie, I know it's like, you know, he can be like in a dead sleep, you know, just like really, and then I just kind of twitch and get up for a second, and, you know, he jumps up, flaps himself. I mean, he's just like up like a little marine, up and like, you know, 3 seconds flat, you know, he's like out of bed, you know, I mean, I don't know, but, yeah, he really likes blankets. He'll sleep under the bed with the blanket. Sometimes I'll maybe push him out of there and make him just kind of sleep on the other side of the bed with his other blanket I have, just because it's like I get this kind of like, these restless legs in my body. I just feel kind of like real antsy. This thing has been going on forever, this restless legs. I was taking medicine for it. Perhaps it's kind of like, he's like, okay, I'll say that again. A lot of I don't know if that it cut out for a second. A lot of times I'll set my cruise control for maybe like 5 miles an hour under the speed limit. And the reason I want to do that is I just want, no one's going to go back and really watch be some notes. I did that in one video that was real long before, just to make it to where you can kind of like just, if there's one subject you liked, you can just kind of like go to it. And hopefully people maybe will watch just like the first, because the first 10 minutes probably tells most of the important. So I might feel a little guilty. Sometimes I gotta leave Charlie in the car for a little bit. And stuff, you know. Because I gotta be a little careful not to go too far when I get down to South Carolina. Because I don't know. I guess like, I mean, there gonna be like some alligators out there, so I'm gonna be like, you know. I hope he's not stupid enough to run after some animal that's bigger than him. Because I mean, he got sprayed by a skunk like 3 or 4 times last year. I guess we had some skunks that were living in this little woods by the side of our house, and it's just, yeah, he just went in there. And then there's like one time where he ran into the woods, and I don't know what it was, but it was like, you know, I heard him really growl, and there was rustling. I don't know what it was, what kind of animal that was. I mean, he was fighting like a raccoon. I don't know. I mean, he's not that big a dog, so I mean, you know, I don't want him to, you know, take on some like animal that's too big for him. Hopefully he's smart enough to, you know, what was I was reading, like part of like, oh, that